Welcome back, it's Diederik Gelderman here again. Hi. In the last training lesson, we discussed cog number 2, which was fixing the disparity in the average transaction fee in the consulting room, the transactional differences that are occurring in your practice every single minute of every single day, and how to plug that particular massive leak. So today, let's look at our third potential leakage point, which is underperforming rates of reminders and recall letters or emails or SMSs. Now, if I asked you the question, how well do your reminders and recalls work, would you be guessing or would you actually know the answer? Look, it doesn't matter whether it's postcards, phone calls, SMSs, but for simplicity's sake today, let's just focus on one thing, and that's letters. Now, before we move on, I'm just going to go sideways for one sec. The fact is that in 2014, letters outperform SMSs, emails, and postcards and everything else. The pendulum swung a few years ago. Emails and SMSs beat letters. Letters now win hands down. Of course, a strategy using a mixture of all of the above is by far and away the best. But for today, let's just concentrate on letters. Now, by now it won't come as a particular surprise to you that practice owners rarely track and measure a lot of things in their practice and typically guess at reminder recall rates as well. Now, often I hear them say, 70 to 80%, that's what we get for off our recall rates off our letters. But when they actually track and measure, look, in most cases they find they're achieving 45% at best. Let's assume that we could lift that to 60%. 60% of your clients responding to recalls and reminders. Let's assume that that's an increase in the number of appointments per month of, let's say, 15 clients for you coming in and taking those recalls and reminders up. And let's assume that your average transaction fee for one of those vaccination appointments is $120. So it's 15 times 120. That's about $1,800 a month. That's not peanuts or chicken feed, is it? Now, I've attached a worksheet for you that you can use to actually calculate the exact number of recall and reminders for your practice. This exercise is going to take you less than 10 minutes, and it's really worthwhile doing. Now, why do veterinary recalls and reminders perform so poorly? And how can you increase the uptake rate? Well, the reason is that these letters and reminders typically look like a form letter rather than a personalised letter, a personalised me-to-you letter. Now, when I work with practices, we change their letter so that it becomes a nice me-to-you letter. And when we do that, response rates soar by as much as 60%. Not to 60%, but by 60%. So do the calculations for your practice and you'll find that that's huge. Now, common mistakes that I see every day include, are they personally signed? Do they look nice? Are they the sort of letters that get people talking about your practice? Are they personally addressed? Are they in a nice envelope, possibly with a dog on the front or a cat on the front? They're just for starters. Now, the truth is, a lot of reminders in the veterinary industry just look like form letters. Gee, hey, in a lot of cases they're not even signed, often signed by a living, breathing human being. And this is a big mistake. In order for letters to work optimally well, they must be a very personal me-to-you communication. If the client feels that your practice has just sent out a form letter, they're going to respond just like you do when you get a form letter, and that's to throw the letter in the trash. Now, you do the same with a form letter from your dentist, from your hairdresser, from your car mechanic and the like. Now, in contrast, letters that truly engage the client and show that your practice genuinely cares, those letters are going to get acted on by the client and they're going to make an appointment. Now, of course, your letters can still be a template, but a template that's written in me-to-you language that captures the genuine care that your team has for that client and for that pet. So, the take-home message for you is this. If you look at your letters now and you cringe, even just a little bit, don't let them leave your practice. Unless you're really proud of how your letters look right now and how they feel and how they read, and unless you're really confident they're working and getting clients to come in the door and take up that appointment, stop the clock, rewrite the letters, otherwise you're leaking a huge amount of potential money out of your practice. Now, before I close off for today, I've had a lot of emails and a lot of phone calls asking me whether I have anything else that I can share about these invisible leaks that are occurring in your practice. Remember, we've still got 4 videos to go, but there are some people that always want more, and that's fantastic. So as a matter of fact, I do have some more information about invisible leaks. My colleague and friend Chris Newton has actually written a report called The 9 Invisible Leaks in Your Veterinary Practice that suck out more than just profit. It's subdivided into 3 really easy to read and really easy to act on reports, each of which covers 3 of those invisible mistakes. 3 reports, 3 mistakes in each, easy to digest. If you'd like your own copy of Chris's reports, then I'm only too happy to email them to you with his and with my compliments. Just email me on dge@turbochargeyourpractice.com, or just email Michelle at turbochargeyourpractice.com, or ring me on 0408 79 337. You'll see all those details on the screen. Now, moving on. We've covered the first 3 cogs in our veterinary practice marketing machine. Okay, so let's move on and look at leakage point number 4 in the next video. It's all about plugging the leaks that are occurring from what I call randomized promotional activity versus systematized healthcare programs. Randomized marketing activity versus systematized healthcare programs. See you next week.